forces right inside of his main. I believe his one little stasis there was not necessary because he didn't really accomplish much. He does have a lot of Dragoons alongside Zealots to help support him, but I find that he's lacking a little bit. He should have some High Templar out in the field to help Storms. Doesn't have much in the way of that. Has gateways all over the place. Now has Dragoons coming in from the lower left. Has gateways because there's way there to do. Dropping again, just trying to do some economic damage against Fantasy. Another mine. Oh, a frozen mine. Dear God, a bugged mine that just explodes into nothingness. Vulture's still running on all over for Fantasy. Just he has to do something, running his forces alongside the entire middle, while Movie at this point has maneuverability. He has shuttles flying around all over. He's reinforcing. He has troops being made at the 1 o'clock position inside of his main, everywhere. Finally now dropship coming in for Fantasy's gonna try to finally kill the tech that's been the entire time at this 3 o'clock, and that could be a little bit damaging. Well, actually not that damaging to me because he hasn't really been using much. He has a Die Templar now moving out around, doing damage, really just harassing everywhere. Movie just has been playing a beautiful harassing game this entire time, and if Fantasy doesn't do something, Movie's gonna continue to out macro him. He's gonna continue to get a huge economic advantage. Is going to continue reinforcing all this force, although mind you I have no idea where the hell Fantasy pulled this huge force of vultures and tanks from. 1 minute there, 1 minute, and then not EMP goes off, catches the Arbiter and several of the ground forces. Some of the Zealots are instantly going to move and try to attack. There are no mines there for them to drag in, so also defensive makes is coming off, and Fantasy has far too many tanks there ready, also attacking the 1 o'clock position. If you manage to take this down, because he's taken down the inside base inside 1 o'clock, if he manages to take down the 1 o'clock position, then Movie's going to be the one that's going to be desperate for minerals, because this one doesn't have much. He also has this upper left mineral only tanks now going there, far outranging the cannons by far, and probes are going to be killed. Now we're going to see that Movie's looking a little bit worried, despite playing a wonderful game the entire time. Now going to lose a lot of probes, going to lose a lot of mining. Fantasy now with a huge force out of nowhere. Movie's going to have to... Well, the problem with Movie now that is playing beautiful harassment, but in full-on engagements he has not done. He's tried a couple of engagements, not being too successful. He tried to break Fantasy's front. That failed. I think that was one of the deciding factors. If he had managed to break that front, he would have won by now, but he did not break the front. So he's in a lot of trouble. He has no natural expansion, as you notice here. Has no 1 o'clock. Now, okay, he should be able to save his mineral only at the 12 o'clock. Left 12 o'clock, but just so much trouble now. At this point, now it's the other way around. Movie has the forces on the ground, and that's all he has. Scans going off of Fantasy to be able to attack those forces. There are some Arbiters in place, so Movie's going to go all he's going to have. If the EMP is going to be on the way. Arbiters not managed to do anything. Fantasy doing wonderful job, losing the science vessel, but neutralizing. He's been doing this the entire time, neutralizing. Despite, aside from those couple of recalls, have been neutralizing the Arbiters perfectly. A lot of probes going to get attacked again now because no cannons to defend. The inside 5 o'clock is going to be taken out. Now a lot of tanks to move. Now it's all going to come down to what happens. SCV's been pulled off. A lot of Dragoons being killed, though there are Arbiters in play. They're going to attack from there. There are science vessels there too. Some Zealots and Dragoons still moving in. So Fantasy now in a little bit of danger. He has to try to repair. Has to try to hold because Movie is going for it. He has Arbiters in the air, Zealots and some Dragoons on the ground. We're going to see what he tries to do. He actually tries to break it because he doesn't have a lot of reinforcement. Scans going off. Right there in the air. A couple Arbiters are really the only thing, but they of course can be held back by turrets. Nothing else. One last Zealot taken out. There's also an observer there at the base. Movie again trying to go for it. Unfortunately, did manage to take out the inside 5 o'clock, but not much else. Both players starving for economy at this point, and I need a sip of water. Both players completely starving for minerals. One Dark Templar now in the field, gonna get taken out. Oh man. Huge crap load of vultures gonna sneak. Well, not even sneak, just run right up the ran into the main. Alongside that one single science vessel as well. So at this point, Fantasy has the advantage here. Movie forced to use his being forced to use his Arbiters now. You can tell by the look on Movie's face, he feels like he is losing this. He's losing some of his Arbiters. He has his entire main surrounded by vultures and mines. Any forces that come out are going to be completely killed. One side so he's going to get spotted by Arbiters here. But Fantasy at this point must feel a little bit comfortable. He's not very heavy on economy, so he can't really continue the production of troops constantly. But overall, in his pretty decent position. Science Vessel, yes, does go down before he manages to do anything else. At this point, Fantasy just has his mineral only at the 4 o'clock, and I believe he's mining just a little bit still at the lower left at 6 o'clock. Arbor is actually now going to attack one single tank, then probably going to go for the SCVs there. Take them a little while to take the tank out. Still Vultures running on all over the place for Fantasy, doing a great job. Nothing really but Arbiter so far. He's now going to lose his mineral only yet again at the 11 o'clock. Movie now in a lot of trouble. Despite playing a great game, I think any point, any day now, he's probably going to, well, any day, any minute now, he's going to GG. Stasis on the 2 Goliaths that came in. Another stasis on another Goliath in the tank, but there is now a turret being built, and Movie's not spotting that. The turret's going to finish off this one single Arbiter. Not really much else in the way of troops for Movie. He's been forced to save minerals, and now he has nothing but Arbiters on the field, and with just Arbiters with no other troops in the ground, he can't really do anything. Now going to lose the Nexus at the 11 o'clock, and after that, I believe it's going to be GG. Wonderful game by both players, I gotta say. Movie just playing a perfect game, and just wow. With Movie's style of play, I think actually that this group might even deserve the title of the Group of Death. Science Vessel still on the play for Fantasy, and he's just been using his troops so much better. You can tell nothing coming out of the gateways for Movie. Nothing whatsoever. He has no mining at this point. He has no base. I don't even know if he has the minerals to put down another Nexus. He has those Arbiters over the place. Probably distance mining maybe is natural or something. That's really the only option I see, but I don't even see any probes for him anywhere. Don't really know why he's even in the game yet. He should have GG by this point. He knows he's lost. There's no chance for him to come back. He has one single Archon. That's it. One single Archon is going to get EMP'd and killed with one shot. So that's that. One stasis goes off. His Arbiter kills out. GG for Movie. Yeah, you can tell by the disappointment, the look on his face. He should have been able to win that. Fantasy looking a little bit shaken, actually. He's like, whoa, that guy gave me a crap load of trouble. But Movie playing a great game. Wow. He's going to move on into the final match. We'll face off either against Lita or Jade. I'm going to have a challenge there. And honestly, I don't know what to think. I think this match was Movie's best chance to move forward. I think if he faces off against Lita, he's not going to be able to catch Lita off guard, because the player Elite is going to be watching for stuff like this now, and Jaedong is definitely not going to lose a second time. I find that highly unlikely. So I would have been happy to have him move on. Honestly, the chance of another Fantasy versus Lita, or even a Fantasy, especially a Fantasy versus Jaedong in the final match, would have been great. But I think Movie's going to have a hard time moving out of this group, despite putting up a great performance. I'm going to keep on watching this guy because he has very promising stuff. But Fantasy moving on to the round of 16, I don't think he's really that big a surprise to everyone. So, great game. Wow. GG guys, ranching out. Thanks for listening, as always.